And that was the Hakea Trail in Fitzgerald River National Park. Officially, it's a 24-kilometre point-to-point hike, or 48 kilometres if you don't have the luxury of someone picking you up at the other end. Realistically though, you're probably looking more along the lines of 55 kilometres if you do what I did and choose to camp at Hammersley Inlet. All trails had me at 59 kilometres, but I'd estimate I did another 4 or 5 Ks walking back and forth to the tripod. So there's 3 entry points to the trail, 2 of them being by sealed roads and 1 being by 4-wheel drive access only. I chose to start at Hammersley Inlet as it was pretty close to the midpoint of the trail and also seemed to be the most logical starting point to set up as base camp. So once you get there, there's 14 sites to choose from on a first come, first served basis. I rocked up at about 5:30, 6ish the day before I started the hike, and I reckon there would have only been about 4 or 5 sites taken by the time I got there. But I'd imagine come school holidays that might be a different story. Also, I just have to say that I saw an echidna on the drive in, so I was absolutely stoked with that. The last time I saw one of those was probably when I was about 6 or 7, just a little tacker running around. So yeah, that set the trip off to an absolutely great start. So once you're at the inlet, a site will set you back $15 per night. All you got to do is put your cash in a little envelope, write your name, car rego, how many nights you plan to stay, and then throw it in a box beside where you got the envelope from. It's worth noting too that there's pretty decent toilet facilities at Cave Point, Hammersley Inlet and Whalebone Creek campground, all stocked with that elusive dunny paper too. Hammersley Inlet also had a communal area with barbies, but I didn't have any need for these. The ground here is also extremely hard, so just keep that in mind if you intend to camp with a non-freestanding tent. Originally I planned to set the tent up, but after bending a couple of pegs, I decided just to roll the swag out instead. On day 1 I decided to do the easterly leg up to Cave Point. All trails recorded my walk as 28.9 kilometres, but I think the official length is more along the lines of 24 kilometres. Day 1, Hammersley Inlet to Cave Point. All trails are saying 28.8 kilometres. Oh, I'm absolutely destroyed. I had the whole thing to myself and actually didn't see a single soul until I got to Cave Point, where there was an elderly couple just admiring the view from the lookout. Day 2, I did the western leg to Coin Head and then camped the night at Whalebone Creek Campground. I'd seen photos of the place, but I was still pleasantly surprised with how nice it actually was. I did actually plan on throwing up the tent here, but the wind was absolutely atrocious, and I had the whole place to myself as well, so I thought, why not make the most of it? Me, myself, and these views at Whaleback Campground. Got my setup going on, my inflatable mattress I'll do up soon. Roll out the sleeping bag. There's my setup. Having some classic beef curry in a sec. Couple more shots to do, and that'll be a wrap. Day 3 was just a short 8.8k walk back to the car. So some of you might be curious as to what camera gear I'm using. So I'm running the Sony a7 III with 3 batteries, a Rode Video Mic Pro Plus, Sony 16 to 35mm lens, and the Peter McKinnon Edition variable ND filter from Polar Pro. Also got a Mavic 2 Pro with 3 batteries and some Siriu tripod that I actually won from a drone photography competition a while back. Eventually I'd like to upgrade to one that's got clips rather than barrel tighteners, but yeah, this one will have to do for the meantime. When it comes to backpacks, I cannot recommend enough the Atlas Adventure. If you're like me and like to do a bit of hybrid camping and videography, the Atlas Adventure Pack is hands down the best thing on the market in my opinion. So just the camera gear itself, excluding the backpack, comes to 5.2 kilos, which brings my base rate roughly to around 13-14 kilos. Throw food, water, a spare set of clothes on top of that, and it definitely starts getting on the heavier side. But hey, I'm not complaining because I'm out here and I get to make these kinds of videos. Also, just want to briefly mention that I found this hike through the guys at The Long Ways Better and The Life of Pi, so big props to them. They both have the most comprehensive guide you can ask for when it comes to walking the trail, and it was a huge help for me when it came to actually planning the trip. Anything that I've missed, I've no doubt you'll be able to find it in their blogs, and I'll link that all in the description below. Anyway, that's enough rambling for me. Plenty more hikes planned in the future, and until then, I'll see you in the next one.